Thank you for being here, the third day of futurebuild. Love to say something about Madaster. You already mentioned one of the one-liners of Thomas Rau that we've included. Thomas Rau is still involved fully in Madaster. So we started off about 3 years ago, Thomas and myself, and especially with Thomas, he had a very clear vision of what should be done. And that vision drives our mission. But besides the vision on waste, we also had some key principles that guides us through our journey with realizing Madaster. And the first one is good governance. When we set up the initiative of Madaster, we thought from day one about how to set up a good governance of our company, of our organization. We also said, apart from the waste part and the materials part, we want to facilitate a circular economy. So beyond the initiative what we have, we want to stimulate and facilitate the realization of a circular economy. And the third one is we want to create opportunities. If you want to realize a circular economy, you need to make sure that you're not only successful yourself, but that other people are successful. That's the way to drive change. So that's what has driven us and is still driving us in realizing our vision. A bit more on that background, on good governance, facilitating circular economy and creating opportunities. So the first one is we wanted a strong governance because in the end, I'll already tell you, we ended up with a register. That's the boring part of it. And that's a platform, and the platform economy is full of initiatives, companies that do not have good governance. They have a good business model, they make a lot of money, but especially on your data. So when we started off, we wanted to come up with a good governance where we avoid platform accesses. And one of the key items is that the right to use algorithms, you can make a lot of money with that. The right of using algorithms is fully owned by a not-for-profit organization. But a not-for-profit organization that has to develop a technology platform, that's a bit strange. So we also created a profit organization that can attract capital. But the real right, the ownership, lies at the not-for-profit organization. So that was our first principle that we included. The second one was all the stories that I've heard today, yesterday, the day before, and within the circular economy, brilliant stories. And the best thing we could do, we thought, was to connect with all those stories, to connect with initiatives like Cradle to Cradle from Michael Braungart, to connect to all the good work that has been done with LCAs, so the life cycle analysis, even though it shouldn't be called that way. Or a company like EME, Access Materials Exchange, or connecting to the BREEAM standard, or GRASP. I don't know who of you knows what GRASP is? There's somebody. It's one of the key initiatives that drive the investment industry. So asset managers, when they determine where to put their money in, and we're not talking about tens or hundreds of pounds, but we're talking about billions of pounds, they look at GRASP rating. So we want to connect to those existing initiatives because it's the whole set of initiatives that together form an energy and a change towards that circular economy. So we wanted to connect to that. And then the third one is a level playing field. We thought what actually is needed to realize that circular economy. We thought, well, you need a trusted data source. If there is a trusted data source, other people can start using the data because it is trusted and we agreed that it's good. And then you can start doing business. So if you want to do business with selling materials, reused materials, does your buyer know that your qualification of the materials is good? The buyer of your product wants to make sure that it's based upon trusted information. So we want to provide that trusted source of data to stimulate the realization of that circular ecosystem. Back to that basic vision. It's not that complex. And I've told it many times before, but it's always good to have that very clear because this is what drives us. Our planet is a closed system. Nothing goes in, nothing goes out. Unless you're Elon Musk and you put stuff to Mars. But so far, everything we have, that's what we got to do with it. And Everything that's on our planet, all our resources, therefore are limited editions. It's like pieces of art. We don't get any new, they're all limited. Every stone you see is a limited edition. We don't get a copy of that. What we have, that's what we got to do with it. Limited editions. And then waste, that's a very strange thing. Waste actually is material, but without an identity. If we don't know what it is, we think it's rubbish and we can throw it away. But every material has got an identity, but we just have to document it. And just like we do with people, why don't we use the same concept? Rather easy, just give it a passport. So material passports give materials an identity, and when materials have an identity, we can eliminate waste because all material has value. All material, all our resources are limited editions and have a purpose on this closed system called planet Earth. Simple vision. How to create those passports? Well, we made the simple comparison to human beings. If your baby is born, you go to the municipalities. City of London is, got a son, got a baby girl. Can I register my child? And if you've done the registration properly in a boring register, you can pick up the passport in a couple of years' time. And your child can actually travel around the world because he or she's got an identity. So we created a register, an online register for materials and products. And we're not doing that for people, we are doing that for real estate and for infrastructure, because that's where all the materials are used, or at least a huge amount of materials are used in real estate and in infrastructure. And this is how it looks like. It's just a website. And it only has 4 products, that's it. It's got an object dossier, so if you have information on your building, you can upload it, store it, we make sure it's safe. We're not selling your data. We're not doing any algorithms on it. And if we do so, we do that in favor of the not-for-profit organization. So not to make money, but to make our world better. Second product we have is we give a material passport. We just write down, we document what you have uploaded onto our platform, and we call that a material passport. Third one is financial valuation. Our economy, so also our circular economy, will be driven by money. So when we give financial value to materials, that drives the economy. And instead of that you have to buy a proper valuation, we just give it to you. Because we know what the price is of scrap metal, or we know what the price is of wood. It's not perfect, but we give you an indication so that you know from day one what your material is worth in your building. And we also give a projection what it's worth in the future. And if you go to our platform, I can already tell you that the price and the value of materials is not going up. It's going down. That's because our economy is not working properly. It's currently easier to throw away materials and buy new stuff instead of reusing it. It's stupid, because when we end up with materials, we will be confronted with the problem. So currently the price is going down, but I'm telling you it will go up. I don't know when, but it will go up. Fourth one is a circularity index. We say something about your construction. If you are aware of all the materials and products that you've used. If you are aware of what's in it, circularity possibilities in the future will go up. If there's toxic waste in it, you can't recycle it, reuse it, but if you've documented properly, it's good. If you have mounted all the materials and products in such a way that you can demount it and even remount it, perfect, your circularity index goes up. And a couple of things more. That's what we give you on the platform. How to fill it. Platform can be easily filled with digital twins. And especially for new buildings, there's always a digital twin. The architect, the construction company, the mechanical engineer, they all work with 3D BIM models, building information models. And when a building is being built, there is documentation. Do not throw it away. Store it for the next generation, or maybe for the next year when you want to change it. What about existing buildings? Well, you have information on existing buildings as well. You can make photographs, you can do analysis. When you do maintenance, you get information. Use that information, keep it in your digital twin, store it in Madaster. Okay, nice vision, nice principles. What's the benefit? It's still just a register. We're not making the money on it. It's just a boring register. It's up to you to come up with the cool initiatives to actually make some money in the circular economy. Become a trader in reused materials. If you want to have a proper data source, you can call us. But you need to do the commercial work of trading with used materials or used products. And we can be the source to provide you with the data. If you want to minimize risks, or if you are responsible for analysis to prevent risks in the future, and I know this is a very sad story, but you need to have proper data of where is material used, where is it stored. And it was even on the Dutch news today that Scotland Yard is going to take even 2 more years to find out what happened over there. 2 more years. They don't know where the cladding was used. It was not properly documented. It's incredible. It's not up to us, we're just a register, but it might be handy if you're doing some research. And if you are a car manufacturer, you know that you can make money with building cars, but you can make even more money with servicing them. You can do the same thing if you're a constructor. Why build a building and run away and try to build a new building? Stick to your client. Provide services. And if you want to provide services, BMW knows of each and every car, what materials are used, how they are mounted, what they cost if you need spare parts. Ask your constructor what replacing a tile costs. Your constructor probably doesn't know. You can track and trace. If you produce stuff, you want to buy it back, you need to track and trace and see it. And if you're an architect, you want to know where is what material used and when does it become available. So it's time to realize this vision. We started in the Netherlands, rolling out rapidly internationally, hopefully to the UK as well. But unfortunately, policies, rules, regulations, coding is different in each and every location. So we need to do some stuff before we can become live in the UK, but hopefully very soon. And I hope that today was one of the moments to get you invited to reach out to us and talk to us and see what we can do here in the UK. If you want to find us, there's a stand over there from the City of Amsterdam, and they have got our information. Thank you for your time.